Good morning, everybody. It's Jane Johnston with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. Andrew is traveling today. If he can drop in, he will. In the meantime, we're going to have Carey Rose. She is from Strathmore, Alberta. She's going to be talking to us about her market as well. We're going to do a monthly market update, but first, let's just get to the boring statistics from the past week so you can see. But first of all, actually, if you do like the show, please share it. We'd love for you to send it to people who may be interested in real estate in your area. And we'd love for you to subscribe. We are on YouTube. You can go to my channel at Jane Johnston Realtor, or you can go to Andrew Plank's channel and you can subscribe there. Please also comment if you have any questions, and if you want us to cover anything, please let us know. We're looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, so for the last 7 days, we had 275 new listings this past week compared to 230. And this kind of follows the trend of the market, which shows an increase over the first few months and peaking in May. So that's what I expect to see. Pending this past week were 102, and that's compared to 128 for the week before. So we are seeing a bit of a smaller list to sale ratio. There's less chance of selling right now because there's more choice on the market. This is a great time for buyers. And we can see that's reflected in the price decreases of 66, and then last week of 70. Price increases are 2, that's compared to 4 the week before, and solds are at 65. So those are properties that have all the conditions removed and they have transferred to the new owners. And expired are 101. So this is not surprising because many expiries happen in the week before the end of a month. Month to date. So for the first week of February, looking from the first, we see 54 unconditional sales. That's compared to 460 for February 2023. We're at 160 new listings. That's compared to 811 for February 2023. And that's compared to 840 for new listings in January of 2024. We are up at 2,129 new listings right now active, and that is up over February of 2023 at 1,809. So that's pretty good. We're showing a pretty active market now. So I'd just like to introduce Carey Rose. Carey is a broker owner. She's from Strathmore, Alberta. There are 4 broker owners in her brokerage, and so she just won an award. They won Broker Owner of the Year. So welcome, Carey. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. How are you, Jane?
Good. I found this picture of you on the internet. Looks very nice.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your award to you and your fellow owners.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasant surprise.
So how does that happen? Does it get nominated by people in your company?
So it comes from our head office, so Remax Canada. So each brokerage has a director that is their support system, and they watch all of us all year long, how everybody's doing. They watch our stats from everything from how productive our agents are to how many agents we have, recruiting. It's kind of a mixture of everything, and then they award deserving offices.
Awesome. Well, did you get a phone call from head office this week?
Well, what in regards to?
Oh, I got a call this week from Remax Canada just saying thank you.
Oh, nice.
So that was nice. I was blown away by that, actually. I was like, first of all, I didn't take the call because I didn't recognize the number. So.
Of course.
But it was interesting. Anyway, how's the market going where you are?
So we are, of course, always a little bit behind the 8 ball compared to British Columbia and Ontario. My Strathmore, Alberta is located on the east side of Calgary. So everyone's quite familiar with where Calgary is. So we're about 25 minutes east on the Trans-Canada Highway. It's got a population of about between 14 and 15,000 right now, and full amenities. So it's a very unique community to live in. Our market has been very strong for the basically, kind of since we started to come out of COVID. And
Oh,
yeah, we really seen a drop in our inventory as we came out of COVID. And I think a combination of, interest rates started climbing and inventory, started dropping a little bit. And it's just been a continuous year over year thing that we've been experiencing. So our prices have really gone up about 12% per year. So it's been quite nice, because normally we would see, anywhere from, 2% per year up to maybe 6% back in 2007, 2008.
wow, like per year, year over year. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So great place to invest. So I'm going to go through our stats, and then maybe what you can comment is what your stats are comparable to ours. Would
Sure.
that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, what's interesting is where the origins are of people who are purchasing in Victoria. So 90.36% of people are actually from BC, and then 8.62% are from elsewhere in Canada. We're going to break that down a little further, but less than 0.6% are from the USA, and 0.1% are from Europe, and 0.08% are from Asia. Now, I know they just recently announced at the federal level that they're going to extend the no foreign buyers for the next 2 years again.
Yeah.
So these people all have at least one spouse who is Canadian, or they have a permanent residency, I'm
Okay.
assuming. Okay, so in Victoria itself, we have 70.25% of the buyers are from Victoria, 1.91%, so just under 2% from just up island from the Malahat, 2.12% are moving from the Southern Gulf Islands, and I see a mistake there. Gulf. Lower Mainland are 9.61%. So these are people who are moving from a more congested area to the island. And then elsewhere, we have less than 4%, but 3% of people who are moving to Victoria are actually from Alberta. But I think there are more people moving back to Alberta now. What do you think?
Definitely. We have seen, I don't have the exact stats, I apologize, but, from a perspective of my brokerage, what we're seeing, and, I can speak general, overall, we're probably still seeing, 70% would be local, local to Strathmore. But then, the balance really would be split between Calgary and then out of province, and relocating within the province as well for the balance.
So, what industry are those people working in? Is it oil and gas, or is it farming, or is it tech?
No, it's quite a mixture. It's not one in particular for the Strathmore market. There's a lot of professionals. There's some oil and gas. Oil and gas we tend to see them more within the city or going south, that sort of thing.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Mhm.
So, just looking year over year for our active listings, we do see seasonal adjustments. So, this is a total number of listings. Um, we're seeing again in February the increase of listings, but really we didn't go down to the numbers that we were going down to during COVID. So, at one point during COVID, I think we had 400 new listings in December, and we had 600 sales, which was incredible. What we're seeing is the total active listings is remaining fairly high, which is good for our buyers. Are you finding that there as well?
So, it's not bad. So, for example, our new listings is down about 22% year over year. And then our sales are actually up about 66% year over year from January to January of this year, for example. Yeah,
So
we've been seeing a total inventory of less than 60 for total. Detached about 25. Now our detached is where we're really seeing a bit of an uptick in inventory, where we're only down about 26% from last year.
so those are single family homes when you say detached.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the actual listings, and then the line are the sales.
Mm-hmm.
So we have two sort of bumps in our market. So we have a spring market, which is usually March, April, May. It really starts to peak and then it goes down. And then last year, same thing was happening. We had a bit of a delay because of the interest rates. Everything kind of like bumped to the right a couple of months. So we did peak in May, but because of the interest rate announcement, I believe the first one was in February. Everything kind of was like, "Arch." Did you have that happen as well?
No, we didn't see a slowdown until, like, first of all, we follow a similar trend to that. That, the majority of the sales and that kind of happen between March and June, and then again between September and October, sometimes into November, depending when we get our winter and our snow sets in. But more or less, we seen that we didn't get a slowdown until about November. It was
Yeah.
just go, go, go. But again, our benchmark price in Strathmore currently is $420,000 for detached single family. Our overall, all types of homes, it's $400,000. So it's quite affordable, even with consideration of the interest rates.
You just need to bring some chapstick.
Yes. You need a humidifier on your furnace.
Okay. Well, so I think what we're going to see compared to you, we're in a balanced market right now. We've been fairly steady over the past few months, especially since the interest rates have leveled off. We did have a bump last spring, and that correlates with the bump the previous year. March and April, May tend to be our most busy month, but I'm expecting it to remain fairly balanced because our inventory is up. So I'm just wondering so you were saying 25 sales? How many sales do you guys get a month?
Typically, we kind of average around that 30 mark.
Okay, so we have 1,600 realtors in our board, and last month we had 400 sales, but at the peak we get maybe 1,600 sales a
Right.
month.
Right. So, our inventory is on a much smaller scale.
Yeah.
We've got about 1.87% inventory, which is about 55% lower than this time last year.
Wow,
Yeah.
that must be great though. Like put it on the
Well,
market and it's gone.
yeah. So, came out of New Year's with, still a bit of a stagnant type feel in the market. But then by the middle of January, we started seeing sales occur and multiple offers. And now into February, we're seeing more multiple offers. Now, we don't get 20, 30 offers on a property. Multiple, a good, healthy multiple offer scenario for Strathmore is, there's maybe 3 to 5 offers or that sort of thing.
That's about where we are right now, actually, like in number of multiple offers. There was a
Mhm.
property recently that the listing realtor said that they were going to be delaying offers, and he actually didn't get any. So I'm interested to see how that strategy works. I do feel we're not in that market right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I anticipate us to very much be in that market here within the next month. I think pretty much everything between, 250 to 500 I think those properties are going to have a lot of interest. But I do say that with one reservation. With the cost of contractors and materials, and this being a more affordable area, we do see the homes that are in need of maintenance and repair not getting the same action at all as homes that are mint, well maintained, upgrades have occurred, and they're turnkey move-in ready.
Yeah, the same thing here. And I just went and visited a house this week. It's going to come on the market in a few months. But when I was speaking with them, they're actually putting in a whole suite because we realized just list the list price could be up to $200,000 more for putting in a $50,000 suite.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. That's just the times that we're getting into is, suites are becoming more and more accessible, and they tend to net a good return. It's a great opportunity for folks that are, open to that.
So are you, is it not normal for you guys to have suites in homes here? I would say about 15, 20 years ago, that's when it was really the tail wagging the dog and people started to put in suites so that they could get more money for the purposes of resale. The ladder was starting to move up. I was finding we were right on that ladder. That's when we got into real estate as investors.
Right. So we're just starting to get into, the scenario where suites are becoming more popular. Strathmore was very much a family community. Our zoning did not support it. Strathmore really started to grow in the mid 90s. So the majority of the homes in Strathmore were built, mid 90s to current. So we have a nice newer inventory, and our zoning just didn't support it. And our town council and that, for a lot of years, they just really wanted to keep Strathmore that small town family community. So it's just been the last literally, 2 to 5 years that our councils kind of had it, they've changed things. They've made it easier to suite your basement to a legal suite versus illegal. And so it's just starting to gain popularity and momentum now.
That's so interesting because here now provincially there's a lot of pressure for us to increase the density, and the government has now said if you have the zoning set in place through your official community plans, you have to start developing it. Well, they're not saying that, but they're giving everybody the opportunity. So there's going to be a boom here. And plus, we're on the island, so we have a limited land. So there's going to be a pressure for infill housing here as well.
Yeah. I'd say probably the difference here is we don't have a shortage of land. We've got several sections of land. So quarter section of land is 160 acres. There's 4 quarters in a section. So we have several quarter sections surrounding Strathmore that, that are ready for developers to buy and develop. So a little different that way here.
Okay. All right. Well, let's look at the average price of homes here. So you're going to laugh. It was 1.4 million 2 years ago. Last year we went down to 1.25, and now we're hovering just above a million at 1.2. I would say though, previously in 2 years ago, you were hard pressed to find any house that was any quality under a million. Now you can find an okay house for maybe 800,000. So the lower level has gone lower, and the higher end is coming down.
Yes.
So
yeah. We've seen the higher interest rates definitely play a part in our high end of the market. So the high end of the market in Strathmore is really, right now over 700. Couple of years ago, it was really over 600. The last couple of years, the average gain is, about 100,000. Price has gone up.
right.
Coming, prior to prior to 2019, our market was at its lowest, and our average sale price was about, I think it was in the high twos. Sorry, I didn't make that note, but it was in the high twos. So, and now we're sitting at 420. So it's quite a change overall on average.
I remember when I started in real estate in Victoria, 2006, average price was $399.
So I started back in 1999 at the ripe young age of 21. And back then, homes were, they were well under 100,000 on average in Strathmore.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to condos. So condos are following a similar story to housing. So 2 years ago, we were just under 700. Last year, we dipped to 600 around this time. And then now we're just under that, around 575. So average price on homes condos has come down. There was a bit of a what's a good word for it? Rebound after COVID. So during COVID, we found condos really fell out of style, and there were a lot of micro condos at that point. It was like a perfect storm. So people were just trying to get out, and then once the restrictions ended, people started to drift back, but we're still finding they prefer the larger condos. Do you have many condos where you are?
Yeah, we do. We have quite a few. They're definitely not the majority of the market. Kind of like I mentioned earlier, Strathmore's, what put Strathmore on the map was 50 by 110-foot lots that would accommodate, anywhere from 1,000 to a 14, to 1,600 square foot bungalow. That's the majority of our detached. And then condos were, of course, the smaller portion of the subdivision. And our condo market has really, really taken a lot of advances the last 2 years. Prices of condos have actually almost doubled. They're very popular for investors right now, especially considering that Strathmore has a 0% vacancy rate for rentals, which has really drove the rental prices up. So for example, your average, 3-bedroom, 2-story attached townhouse is selling for, around that 250 to 280 mark, and renting out for, around anywhere from 1,800 to 2,200 is what you're seeing. So you're cash flowing sometimes into the positive there with your rentals.
Wow. So here our average for townhouses was 875. 2 years ago, we dipped last year to, in January, under 700. And one of the things we're finding with townhouses is there's a lot of variety in the quality. And so it really depends on what's selling. But there's been a push towards more multifamily side by side, which are row townhouse dwellings, as compared to homes. So fitting more homes on a lot. And our average now is 725, but you could find a townhome in downtown Victoria and Fairfield for like 1.5 million, brand new.
Wow. Yeah, no, we are nowhere near there.
Oh, okay. So, who is the demographic of the buyers who are coming into Strathmore and Airdrie and Calgary area?
We're seeing quite a mix. We're seeing a lot. Well, we've got corporate relocations happening in Calgary, coming in out of BC and Toronto. As far as Strathmore, our council and our municipality council as well has been working quite diligently, the last 5 years to bring in industry to Strathmore, which has started to happen. So, for example, we have a commitment and a land sale to de Havilland. They're quite a large corporation that makes airplane manufacturer.
Interesting.
So, yeah, companies like that are, coming in and purchasing, large parcels of raw land and building their manufacturing
Factories.
facilities. Yeah.
Huh. And so are you as affected by the oil industry as other parts of Alberta then? Because you have alternate industries in there?
Yes and no. 10, 15 years ago, big time. Now not as much. We're getting to more, there's a lot more tech, and that sort of thing where, it's not quite so, not quite the way it used to be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you have anything else you want to talk about regarding your market there?
Just that, yeah, we do, we are short of inventory, which is, of course, always frustrating for buyers, excellent for sellers. But, it's quite, we're the most affordable community surrounding Calgary. So we're really getting a lot more eyeballs than we've ever had before with interest. And, it's nice. We've got an amazing school system. There's no catchment areas, meaning that you can put your child in any of the 6 elementary schools, whichever one you like best. There's free busing from wherever you live in Strathmore to your school of choice. And then the schools all come together for junior high and then a separate facility for high school. So we offer a really great lifestyle. We've got lots of parks and green spaces. Like I said, we've got full amenities for grocery shopping, doctors, dentists, lawyers. You don't have to go to Calgary for anything, unless you really want to go on a crazy clothes shopping spree.
Do you have a hospital there?
We do. Absolutely. Yep.
Huh.
Yep. Hospital, skating rinks, indoor swimming pool, soccer fields, pretty much everything.
Sounds like a great place to live.
It is. I was born in Calgary and raised here, and I just decided not to leave because, Calgary, of course, is a large city center and it's a 25-minute drive. So for all the other things that you may want to do, it's right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for somebody looking to retire, it's a great community, especially the fact that you have so many
Yeah.
bungalows and people will
Yes.
have their own gardens and stuff. The only thing is maybe the winter compared to Victoria might be a little rougher, but
Yeah.
you're saving hundreds of thousands of dollars moving there. Amazing.
Yeah. It's really great for that.
Okay. So if people want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Yeah, so you're welcome to hop on my website, careyrose.com. You can email me at alloverhousing@gmail.com. Or if you want to have a phone conversation, I am always available and I love to chat. So you can reach me at 403-934-0781.
Awesome. And if you want to reach me, I'm Jane Johnston. I'm with the Briar Hill Group at Remax Camosun. My number is 250-744-0775. My email is briarhillgroup@gmail.com. And you can visit me on the web at briarhillgroup.com, or you can look at these videos and more at victoriarealestateshow.com. Also, you can follow me on Instagram about lifestyle in Victoria at realtyteacher_Remax_Victoria. Or you can actually just look at real estate at Briar Hill Group on Instagram. So, and if you want to reach Andrew, he'll be back next week. His number is 250-360-6106. His email is info@andrewplank.com, and you can visit him on his website at andrewplank.com or go to Plank Andrew on Instagram. All right, everybody, don't forget we are here next week at 9:30 every Thursday. So please feel free to send us your questions and comments. And if you're appreciative of guests like this, please let us know. I find it very interesting. Thanks, Carey, for coming.
Thanks so much for having me, Jane. Always a pleasure.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Bye.